All right, everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today's video is about my combat medic load. So if you're a prepared citizen or whatever, and you got a bunch of buddies who are all really good riflemen, that's great, but it helps to complement everybody's skill set with the ability to heal people or save people's lives. So this is not a field surgeon kit, this is a combat medic kit. So instant trauma, like life-saving, life preservation stuff, dealing with surgeon activity is not what this is about, but this is just stop the bleed, first aid type material. And I set this up because I have a bunch of buddies who are really skilled riflemen, but I don't know if any of them have set up a combat medic rig specifically for treating trauma. So this is kind of what I've got. I'm going to talk about it here. So hopefully this helps inspire somebody who's like, well, you know, I got like 4 or 5 buddies who are really good with a gun, but you know, maybe somebody's a mechanic, somebody's, you know, a good cook. It doesn't matter. Like, this is sort of to complement and offset and diversify skill sets for prepared citizen groups. So this is I sort of thought through a combat medic load for an emergency. So obviously combat medic means you got to be able to fight. So I have 3 triple rifle mag pouches. So these come in a thing of 3. So I have 9 magazines plus 1 in the gun. This is set up for my AUG because AUGs are pretty handy. You can shoot them one-handed. So if I need to grab my buddy or grab something, grab people, pull them out of the way, I can still engage one-handed and have regular hit probabilities. So that's why I kind of set this up around my AUG, because it's easier than pretty much any other gun I've shot, from, you know, little ARs to little AKs. The AUG is the easiest and most powerful rifle that I've been able to kind of assemble that can deal with one-handed shooting while I'm, you know, busy doing something. So 9 rifle mags. Not all of them are in here. I was shooting, so I just, you know, that gives me a good bit of lethality, so I can be a part of a team, still engage with targets, still engage with threats. But, you know, I'm not carrying so much gear that, like, I can't run around and I'm all weighed down. So it's based off an H harness, and it runs pretty much like an Alice rig, but it's all MOLLE. So, and if you're kind of like not liking ACU gear, I got a whole big plot of ACU equipment, these pouches and stuff, for pennies on the dollar. So I'm not bothered by the colors. I don't really, it's more about, I'm figuring out what is useful so that I can, if I go for a final setup, I can find a pouch that has the same capabilities, same size, maybe a different color. But for me, for just training, I'm not bothered by it being digital, like gray camo. It doesn't bother me. Like, half my stuff on here is either going to be Eagle Industries or this ugly ACU. But it's useful because it was cheap, very, very cheap, and allows me to utilize some capabilities that I've been theorizing and trying to practice. So, so from the rifles, I keep stuff off my fronts here because I found that trying to, like, look at stuff on the ground with, you know, maybe a tourniquet here or a knife or whatever, it just gets in the way of my line of sight. Like, even looking into my mag pouches, it's just, I can't, like, do it. So that's sort of why I've got nothing here. Maybe I'll put, like, a little pack for gloves, like gloves, because you never have enough nitrile gloves, or, you know, to keep your hands clean for this kind of setup. So maybe in the future I'll put like a little pack for, you know, I can just rip and take gloves, but I have enough gloves in each of these that I know I'm good. I've set this up for being able to handle 4 wounded men worth of trauma, like immediate, got to deal with them, 4 separate men worth of medical treatment. So I'm not going to take everything out. I'll just kind of like just open it up a little bit and show what's in it a little bit as best I can. But yeah, past this is my pouch for my PVS 14. I put foam all in it so it's nice and soft, so if I'm bouncing around it's not breaking my night vision. But I can fit 2 PVS 14s in this pouch, so when nighttime comes, I pull my thing, put it on my helmet, and I'm ready to go. So beyond that is a canteen. This holds a quart of water, and I separated this from the other quarts because this is my like immediate go-to canteen, and then the other two are spares, so I could use one as like dirty water that needs to get filtered into another one for clean water. So that's kind of why I separated this one, because this one I know is always clean drinking. And in it I have little packs for water purification, but that's this canteen here. Next to it is a pack, and they're not in there, but I took out of an MRE 6 days worth of like just entrees, like the food, and like a spoon. So I have 6 days worth of food in this like waterproof insulated zipper pouch here, this green one, that will fit in there, and that allows me to have 6 days worth of meals and stuff. So if, let's say I don't need to be out for 6 days, I can still share my food with people, or if there's like a horrible tragedy that happens, some kind of natural disaster, I know I have at least some food. So if there's somebody who's hungry, who hasn't eaten for a couple days, whether or not it's combat or whatever, I can hand out a little bit of creature comforts. So there's snacks and food in there, enough for 6 days worth of like meals. So that's something I don't think enough people think about. They're ready for like 3 days. This is like serious gear. You know, I'm thinking about like, what if something's really, really bad? This will kind of be a band-aid over a real tragedy. So I have 2 more canteens, one here, one here. Again, 2 quarts. So I have 3 quarts of water total on me. And I can keep one empty for putting dirty water into it. I can filter that into the other one. It gives me enough options. So 3 quarts of water, 6 days worth of food. Next to that, right here, is my boo-boo kit. So I have boo-boos, like Band-Aids, pain reliever, things that are creature comforts. Then I have a tourniquet here. Then I have severe injuries like sprains, lacerations that are not life-threatening, things that like I'm even thinking about putting asthma medication. Depending on who in my friend group like has asthma issues, I could possibly put an inhaler in there. Just things that are less creature comfort but not life-threatening. So then I have a tourniquet and a knife. I know where my knife is, or I'm sorry, my flashlight. I know where my flashlight is. It's a little Surefire. I can just take it out and use it, and I'll just always have my flashlight right here. It's kind of squished in there, but I can easily reach it. So I have severe, issues, but not life-threatening, and then a tourniquet, another one, and then a flashlight, and then my life-threatening, like immediate, like urgent pack. And this is like for dealing with gunshots, severe lacerations, things like that, life-threatening stuff. So I have kind of a basic set of, a couple sets of shears, a bunch of gloves, forceps, a little light, some tweezers and stuff, and then I have like 20 yards collectively altogether of packing gauze. I have some bandages. I have chest seals. I have in here a little 14 gauge needle for punching into the chest if there's pneumothorax tension. I think that's what it's called. I'm probably butchering that word. But yeah, this is like life-threatening. Oh boy, if I don't deal with it, it's going to be bad kind of stuff. And I put it right up front because when you're like really in it, it's scary. So I need to be able to see right up front, right next to a tourniquet. And then my backpack. This is just a little backpack that is Molly. This has a tourniquet, obviously on the side there, but it has replacement bandages. So I have more packing gauze. It has like replacements for this stuff because I can't put 4 days worth of stuff, or 4 men worth of medical supplies. So I have backups of everything in each of these things, like shears, things that could break or things that get dirty and replaced. I have more gloves. I have a pump for CPR, so I don't have to put mouth to mouth. I can just put the pump on the guy's face and pump it so I can keep air in the lungs. It all fits in here in this charge pack, and it's all waterproof, so nothing gets gross or anything. But I've set this, I've tried to be as thorough as possible for a combat immediate action medic, and I kind of configured it for my AUG, because again, AUGs are super handy and they're very capable, especially that one-handed shooting. There are very few rifles that I've shot comfortably and been able to operate out to 100 yards that I can just shoot one-handed and make regular hits with outside the AUG. I know you can probably do it with some little ARs and stuff, but the capability of the AUG being a 14-inch barrel on mine and still only like 26.5 inches unsuppressed, that's a tremendous amount of capability that I can use as part of a team, but then I can also potentially, if we get into trouble, save somebody's life. And again, this isn't even necessarily for a combat situation. I have a bunch of first responder emergency stuff that if there is a problem, like a tornado or something, and people are really badly hurt, I can run out the door with this on and just, help people. So this is kind of this sort of setup. It is geared towards a combat medic, but again, like I said, there's all kinds of capabilities because I can deal with 4 grown men worth of immediate, life-threatening trauma based off these 2 packs here, my tourniquets. I think I have 4 tourniquets on this rig total. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back. So I have a tourniquet in the back if somebody needs to grab one, and you know what I mean? But I have 2 immediately right here that I can get to right away if somebody's, slashed or shot. It's good to go. So again, I have rifle capabilities, I have night vision capabilities, but everything else I can run and prevent death. So that's sort of this setup. I'm going to stop it here, but I hope you have a good day. Give me your thoughts. I know the colors of this, like this gross camouflage, whatever. I'm getting it just to configure it and train with it, and then someday get a better set of pouches. But right now, these were pennies on the dollar. So you have a great day. Oh, and I have a knife right here too, a little Essie knife. It's just tucked away there, but I know it's there. So if I need to get a knife, I can just pull it out and take it. But yeah, so again, rifle mags, knife, night vision, water canteen, 6 days worth of food, water canteen, boo-boos, tourniquet, severe tourniquet, flashlight, urgent, like life-threatening. And then I have my air pump. So if I'm in a group, I can have somebody grab my air pump, or I can just ditch this, put it next to the guy, and get my CPR equipment and save life. So that's this. Super light, very, very handy, even fully loaded with AUG mags and full of water, which this is full of water, but I'm still able to sprint full blast. The AUG is super compact. I can run all day. So that's this. Gives me a ton of capabilities, and for a good reason. So I hope this gave you a little bit of food for thought. Not everybody has to be like a dedicated rifleman guy in their buddy group. You can branch out. Somebody could be a support weapon guy. Somebody could be a medic. Somebody could be, even a door breaker, a lockpick guy, whatever.